All right, traders. Welcome to another live trading session here with Jason G. Price Action Pro's recorded trading session from today, Thursday, the 8th of February 2018. Was just pushing this this move down here a little bit too hard. Took a couple of stops. So going against my own sort of best judgment, which is usually to not trade within this. We're in this sort of EMA range, in between these EMAs here, in both time frames, where it can get very choppy, as you can see. Previous areas where you've had that behavior there, looking for a push back down. We've had a So looking at the highest time frame here, we've had a pretty much down day, and I consider this to be, for the most part, a retracement. I'm hoping that, well, let's not say hoping, but my expectations, my technical analysis is that this will continue to move in the direction of the general trend to the downside. So volatility is high, so as per usual for the last week or 2 weeks, one tick can stop you out can stop out a couple points, so keeping that in mind. A couple of failed attempts at that entry. I'm going to let it go. It's very volatile in these zones. So I just have to be a bit more patient and wait for something juicier to happen. Looks like we're wrong about immediate market direction anyway. But that's how it goes sometimes. Yeah? So it took 2 full stops there, right beside each other. Second one was probably a little bit I wouldn't so much say revenge trade, but it was definitely emotions come into play there to a certain extent, but it's more just like this conviction that you're right, and in this case I'm not. So that's the nature of the beast. Put it away and keep an eye on the market, see if we find some other opportunities today. It's been quite a decent market movement from what I can see. I've not been present for the morning session. The volatility continues. The amazing extended runs, opportunity to capture untold points continues, but high risk with stops being hit also continues. So we'll have to do whatever we can to minimize that risk. just paying attention to this on the highest time frame. This sort of big retracement divergence we have on the MACDs, which is leading to me to believe that there isn't much strength to the upside and that this market wants to continue down. So that's why I'm sizing up shorts at the moment. So just sizing up a short move here, looking at the retracement divergence on the higher time frame. Appears to me that the move up it's not got that much strength in it. So I'm looking for a short. It's just the timing of it with these stops.
Order filled.
Being hit so easily. I do believe that, as your example there, that we have to take what we can, because the market's very erratic at the moment. So I do believe that this wants to move down significantly, but with the volatility, it makes it very difficult to manage. Got hit twice there already. Got a good entry there, I'm happy with that. Just going to, let's see how this rolls now. About to see a move down here now. My belief is that the strength is to the downside on this. Deeper pullback. We're going to let the second one really run for a 3.25 on the second target.
Target filled.
So that's good news. We have recovered our losses, made a little bit more, just because of the high volatility, the fact that I've got a really good entry here for a short. I'm looking to let this really move down for a significant amount of points. Pick a number, what would you be happy with, but it's the overall view of the market here with this very, very shallow retracement. 5 points is always tempting. Giving anything back right now. Fact. We're going to get out a sensible target here. We're breaking through like crazy here. Let's just take whatever we can get. Market, okay, not there. Like I say, I do believe this will break down. So it seems like I'm being greedy, but I'm looking at the overall perspective of this strong move down. Let's get a fib up. I'm trying not to pay attention to what price is doing right now because the numbers are just crazy. You get your heart racing a little bit. But this might want to go. We call 10 points a reasonable amount. It just sounds so ridiculous, but yes, we'll call 10 points a reasonable amount of profit. Or whatever it is, 8.5.
Target filled.
And there you go. Okay, what should we do? Go to the beach. I took that previous area here and this blue EMA as good a target as any target, and it turned out to be a pretty damn good one. So you can see the risk is there. As you see over here, I got a strip torn off me in 2 ticks, stop out, and then again 2-tick stop out. But I still believe that, you know, if you're patient and you stick with your analysis, and you wait for the best possible price, which was to me up here, this previous pivot point, you do stand a chance of making some serious gains. But as I say, it's not for everybody. It can be, with the volatility we have, it can really wreck your nerves. I'm giving myself 3 or 4 shots in a day at a winning, decent winning trade here, and here we go. The market is trying to make a deeper move down, but I was happy with what I got there. Okay, so what did we get? What we got? At 26.45, took one contract out with 3.25. The second contract we took out at $8.25. How ridiculous is that? But awesome. I can't imagine what you must be thinking if you're new to the market, because as far back as I can remember, this is pretty incredible price action. Okay, 600, 550 is it? I think that's 550. Who's complaining with that? And then you have over here minus 1.25. These are 2 contracts as well. So minus $125. So yeah, pretty decent reward for such a short space of time. $375. So now we got a little bit of we've got a bit of breathing space here to see if we can capture some more opportunities if they arise. So that is a 20 point, 15 point move there. One move, and on the charts, it doesn't even look like a big amount, but 15 points is, there were days last year or months where we didn't see 15 points. It's pretty insane, but I'm enjoying it nonetheless. Yes, the stops are always very tight and easy to get wiped out, but the rewards, if you do get it right, is very good. Makes ideal, and the volatility gives increased opportunity. So multiple setups coming in a trading day. The long may it continue. So just done a little bit of charting there, drawing some lines, helps me frame the market. Lines are just lines at the end of the day, but other traders use them and they definitely hold significance in terms of entry and exit points. So I like to plot some trend lines and wedges and what have you to help me frame marketing and get an understanding of what's going on. Try and make some sense of it all. So it's quite a strong move to the downside. This is another reason why I use multiple time frames at the same time. Okay, I like to just look straight across all my time frames. Allows me to contextualize what I'm seeing. So I found it to be the most effective way rather than switching between charts. A lot less task loading, a lot easier for me. So just be able to overview the three main charts. And I have another one which I don't display all the time, the extreme high time frame, but in conditions like this it's definitely worth looking at with such larger ranges, band spreads. So currently these are the three main time frames I'm using here in the middle, the 1597. So these are tick charts. This is akin to a 5 minute basically, and the 610 is akin to a very similar results of a 1 minute. The 4181, I'm guessing that's going to be somewhere around. So have it. It's quite common trading platform setup for a lot of traders. So people look at the 1 hour, the daily, etc. But as day traders, short-term traders, I don't really focus on anything higher than this, really. So we're at now, what we're getting is the EMA crossing over quite strongly here. So I think there's definitely potential to continue down. I'm not a big fan of entering into trades late into the trend. I don't want the scraps, I want to be in the move early, when the biggest rewards are there and the least risk present because you're so early into the trade. This sort of area, we'll see. It does have a lot of strength and there is places to go. There is still, if we look at this area, my expectation is fully to move down to here. One, possibly even that trend line there. This sounds crazy, 25 points, but it's, that retracement we've just done was 35 points. So essentially this move up. So plays out, but we're looking at big strength to the downside here. While we're waiting for the market to do its thing and maybe a setup to form, may as well just quickly give you some insight into why I took that last short. These MACDs here for the earlier shorts were less compelling, really. Such a strong move up, and I think I was I was focused in on this, specifically this weak retrace and then move down, which is equivalent to, come out of that, 1912. got in, which is equivalent to this move down here. Okay, got in on the first sort of move, and then decided it wanted to do a sort of two-wave move, you know, so I wanted to get a little bit higher there. So I got suckered into that, but kind of saw it forming as on a micro level as a mini head and shoulders, you know, like this. There's your head. That's how I kind of saw it, but it really, in this volatility, it's you're kind of dreaming if you think you're going to be picking out head and shoulders on that level, on that scale. You need to be looking at a much higher time frame. But the expectations were solid to me, and you know, you can play back if you haven't heard earlier, but before this move happened, I did explain that my belief that even though that looks like a strong move up here and here, we're going down, because this divergence was huge. If you look at how short the retracement was on the MACD, so if we look at that, you can see about 20% retracement on the MACD. The equivalent in price was like 85%. So that is a huge retracement divergence, which golden. That's what gave me the understanding that this move up is weakness. It's a FOBO. They're trying to sucker long traders in. I don't care what happens, I'm looking for a short. Those two got me out. Decided to chill out a little bit, which is a good decision, rather than getting in on a third attempt down here. Very glad I didn't, because you know, 2 trades in a row is one thing. I don't know, something about hitting a third one in a row can really rock your confidence. So and put you off for your A game, which has to come in soon enough. So I let that go. Decided to just, it's a kind of little rule I have, you know, 2 hits like that in a row, step away, sit back, relax. More than often not, it will you know, it will reward you in that, keeping you out of emotional trading. What do they call it? Revenge trading and this kind of thing. So let it go. Still believe we were going down. On this time frame here, the main trading time frame, I took this. So looking at this here, the actual winning trade at 1920. Looking out, I was a little bit ahead of this time frame in actual fact, because I was fully aware we're way on the outside of these channel bands, and we hadn't had the first light blue one yet. It was still, but I was kind of ahead of the game there. Zoomed into the micro. Usually I'll wait until I get a bit more of a signal on this side. More important to me. For instance, you know, this is the move down. I'll wait to see that, then I'll see the weak retracement on the MACDs. Retracement divergence right there. Okay, you can see how much that pulled back. It's the same story over and over again. And then zoom into the entry exit time frame, which is the 610, which I believe is this one here, isn't it? Or we got this one. Zoom in, probably get in on that move there, somewhere here, maybe. Might have missed that one because I didn't get a pullback. You still have to get the fill as well. That's possibly, that would have escaped me. But this one, this trade here that we're talking about now, the big one, as I say, I didn't really get I was ahead of the signal on the 1597, but that's because I was comfortable with that trade because of what the 418 one was telling me. It's like, we're going down no matter what, so look for your entry. I wanted to, I believe this was the high of that move, and then when I see this shallow pullback here, like these, again, retracement divergence, good 60-70%, more than that, maybe. Look, that's not. Oh, what is it? That retracement there, the mini one. Micro retracement was exactly 75% move. Measure that, it's about 10%. So that was my signal to get in. It was getting really choppy and volatile, and target wise, take whatever you can in these markets, because you know they're doing. I still think there's a lot of structure to the market. Structure's solid. The actual price movement is solid. And the price structure, I like it. I think it all makes sense to me. What's happening? But the problem is, it's just there's so many players and so much volume going in that you're getting these sort of erratic. You know, we're looking at I've never seen that much volume. 2.2 million contracts exchanged. I mean, that's crazy volume. It's probably double. It's about maybe 40-50% above average for a high volatility, and you know, with the average true range just going off the charts here. We're up at 41. It was last year we were down at 14 down here. You know, in November, December, you can see, look, 12. It just went on forever. I just basically pulled out of the ES and I switched to crypto, and that turned out to be a good decision. But you know, this was just sucking the life out of me, day trading the ES, and I love the ES. You know, that is my market. That's the market I'm most tuned into. It's the market I started trading on, and it's the market I will always trade on. As long as it, never know, dear, but yeah, you know, so long as it the way it is. But then look at this 80. So, you know, even though the price structure and the movement is makes sense, the volatility and the volume that's coming in is just causing these big swings and these huge price bars that one bar can take out even the largest stop for the average retailer. Anyway, the big boys playing here quite a lot. So yeah, you have to do, in my opinion, the way you trade these markets is getting into your positions, your moves as early as possible, and paying attention to, and when I say early as possible, I mean the best price possible. And paying attention to the higher time frames, because if you're trading these markets on micro level, like a 6-10 chart or a 1 minute, well, there's always traders that can make a success of any situation, but most people are going to get chopped up. So you know, you're getting 35-point moves. So I'm trusting the MACDs to help me find the divergence, spot the phobos, see where the weakness is, and then trying to get the best possible entry in there. And it's been working well for me for a few weeks now. I mean, I trade like that mostly anyway, because I'm not much of a trend trader. I used to be. I was just never very successful at it. I prefer to counter trend trade, to trade divergence. I only really trend trade when I see. I trade in the general direction of the trend, but not just with all the weightings at mid-band waiting for a retracement, you know. So not anymore. I did start out like that, but trading evolved through necessity. Blow an account and you'll soon change the way you trade. So, or not, actually, not one account, 2 accounts. So, you know, right now, happy days. The key to making a success of this is versatility and being able to adapt your trading strategy and your trading style to not change but adapt to the market environment. So right now we have highly volatile markets. I'm looking for the best setups. I'm trying to get into the moves as early as possible to reduce the risk. Jumping into the trend halfway through it is, I believe, it's not really the way to go at the moment. I'm actually going to put a video together on how to trade these markets. I believe this sort of environment is going to carry on for at least another few weeks. A lot going on at the moment in the political scene, in the financial scene, so world politics, etc. There's a lot of things happening at the moment. So I'm thinking, you know, I feel like this volatility is going to carry on for a good amount of time. And we could be moving into a very strong bear market now, which is a market I love. So let's see how it goes. Okay guys, what we're going to do, just to try and keep this video down to the minimum, because I'm going to be recording the rest of this afternoon session, which is about another hour or so. And I'm looking for the best setups, so they can take 15-20 minutes to form maybe. I'm going to, or not at all, but I'm going to sort of come back to the recording when I'm looking to just about get involved with a trade, or maybe if I just jump in, I'll come back to it. Don't have to endure hours of tick watching. Alright, I'll see you soon. Alright, looking at a quick short move here now. For the right signal. We may not get it. We may push on up further, up into this area. I'm looking to see if this EMA holds where we are. Definitely possible that it's going to hold. Out. Not quite yet.
Filled.
Okay. Quick target. Basically the same setup as I took earlier. We'll move back down to the EMA here. For the fill.
Target filled.
There's the fill. I'm going to zero in my risk here. I feel like there's a lot of strength there, but
target filled.
We'll take it and be happy. With the volatility as it is, you know, that's a reasonable trade there. Yes, can move for 1,000,000 points, but I don't need 1,000,000 points. I need 5 or 6. And I got 50 on this first trade. 27.75, 22, 5 points on the second trade. My days. Plus 5. Equals plus 7 points. $350. That adds on to the 350 we already made, so $700, 14 points in easy trades. Took a little bit, no heat at all on this trade. I'm looking at, repeat price action here, really. See, along with, an overextension outside of the channel band there, slowing down here, whole area, and then as soon as I got that first pivot, or that first BB turned down, I'm in, but we can really go for it here, but I'm not trying to secure these 20-point moves. So trying to get in as early as possible, and yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day, just because I'm happy with the points I've achieved, and it's more than enough for me. 14 points. So